Hey, stranger. I hope this finds you well. I hope you are also willing to even open it. If you have, you're probably rolling your eyes. I get it. I didn't get it for a long time. But I think it finally makes sense now. I can't even begin to imagine how my actions affected you. Especially since I was so focused on myself and my feelings. I am fully aware of how controlling I was, how manipulating I was. I really have no excuse for it. I can say that it was really terrible of me. No matter how many people hurt me, it's not up to me to deal judgment on others. I desperately wanted your love. So much so that I missed every time that you showed it to me. I couldn't pick up on the things that were already there, only on the things that weren't. I'm not searching for your forgiveness or a second chance. I'm looking for closure, for peace. I wish nothing but the same for you. I realize now the thing that I was always chasing was actually something I was running from. As much as I wanted to be with you and be there for you, I couldn't. I wasn't able to accept that truth at that time. I figured if I kept trying, it would eventually work. But I tried in all the wrong ways. The things that I wanted from you were desires that I never experienced in my life. But they were unfair expectations to put on you. I didn't know what I wanted from a relationship, but I knew all the things that I didn't want, which also just happened to be things that were part of relationships. Yet I saw them as red flags. I am extremely embarrassed with the way I acted and the way I treated you. I didn't know that despite being a victim in many timelines, I was also a villain in so many others. I was so scared of being manipulated, so much so that it became something I subconsciously embodied. Which is probably why I was so inconsistent with my actions. I thought if I did everything a certain way, or the right way, you would never leave me. But I was just living a lie. and not being authentic to myself. I was under the assumption that being me wasn't acceptable. People didn't like the real me, so I had to be what they wanted me to be. I didn't realize how much of a social chameleon I was, how I could form myself to whoever you wanted me to be, but at the expense of my sanity. I held a lot of resentment because I thought you were forcing me to be that way. That couldn't have been farther from the truth. You would have loved me either way. And even if you wouldn't have, you would have been kind about it. One of my biggest regrets in life is how bad I fumbled such a good thing. The damage I inflicted on you likely wasn't easy to overcome. You were always a strong person, though. You were kind and gentle, mentally sound. I probably could have learned a lot from you if I had any inclination of being the best version of myself. I fully believed that I was doomed to feel this way forever, that I was damaged beyond repair. I was so stuck on the fact that there was some sort of magic cure, a magic pill just to fix everything. I've come to learn that the best fix for a lot of things is time and patience, compassion. I was in search of a person, place, or thing that could be my savior. Not once did I ever consider that I was the problem. I know I wasn't always the problem, and I never warranted the terrible ways I was treated. But it was my job to fix those wounds and to tend to them, so they weren't always painful reminders, rearing their ugly heads any time I tried to move away from them. I realize no one is perfect. No one does everything just right. There's always room for improvement. There's always a chance to level up to a better version of yourself. One that is kind and gentle, but grounded and unwavering. I didn't realize how poorly I thought of myself and how it poisoned everything around me. I felt like the goddess of death. Everything I touched just seemed to wilt. It also took me a long time to realize that the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. I expected a fairy tale garden without lifting a single finger. It didn't make sense to me how people made things work. I thought it was just divine timing, soulmates, which could be true, I guess. But I didn't really know what those words truly meant in the grand scheme of things. And I put too much energy into things that didn't give me any back. And I could only half-ass things with you. And you deserved so much better than that. It's like that saying, if they wanted to, they would. It's not like I didn't want to. I was just so miserable in my life that I didn't know how to fix it or change it. I thought I was destined for mediocrity, despite having big dreams. I was too scared. Too scared to go at things full force. I guess maybe I had high expectations. And if I didn't meet those, I thought it meant failure. And I shouldn't try again. I carried a lot of heavy things with me. I think a part of me thought you could carry them for me. And I didn't know that I could stand beside you and lean on you. But you can't be the only one to hold me up. Because you also have to hold yourself up. I made things solely about me more often than not. Yet somehow convinced myself and others that you were absent and neglectful. But you were doing everything you possibly could while staying true to yourself. You walked away because you knew I was unwilling to change. I can't even begin to imagine the torment I put you through. I want to take accountability for that. I was in the wrong. My actions were inexcusable. I just want you to know that sometimes I still think about you. And I really, truly hope you are living well and peacefully. I wish nothing but the best for you and your life. I hope that you are thriving and not just surviving. You deserve the world, despite all the times I told you that you didn't. I am so sorry for that. Sincerely, Ria.